Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I always like to kick things off with something super fun. And there is a social media influencer by the name of Christina Avigan. And she is from New York, and she rides the subway. So you might be saying, so what does she do on the subway? Does she talk to people? Does she interview people? Does she walk up to them and say, what do you do for a living? No, she dresses like a crazy person. Like, for example, the outfit that I saw, she's wearing all different types of lingerie, and then she took big, oversized basketball shorts and rolled them up. And people are taking pictures of her and saying, wow, maybe this is the new style. Again, it's at Subway Sessions, in case you want to take a look at her, at Subway Sessions. Wow. You wait till you see some of these outfits. You're like, I wouldn't be caught dead in that outfit. But people are loving it. They are just loving it. What's the difference between a social media influencer and a bench? Okay. What's the difference between a social media influencer and a bench? You know what it is? One can support a family. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this. It's called The Kim Komando Show because it's the nation's largest, biggest, best show about all things digital. I am, of course, America's digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again. And you're about to get more tech smarts because every single thing is now a tech thing. And to all of our newbies, welcome aboard. Our regulars, nice to have you back. You look marvelous today. And you can find The Kim Komando Show on over 420 top stations across the United States. And of course, we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Komando. And you can also find us as a podcast, as a webcast, 24/7 inside the Komando community. Once again, go to komando.com and hit that bright, happy yellow button that says Komando Community to check it out. And a special hello goes out to all of our listeners in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, and the Space Force in 175 different countries who are joining us on the American Forces Network Radio. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And let me tell you, if you need immediate technical support, you need somebody to come on your Mac, on your PC, help you out your Wi-Fi, set up something smart in your house, fix your printer, whatever it may be, you want to reach out to my team of experts over at getkimshelp.com. Once again, that's getkimshelp.com. They're there 24/7. And if they don't fix your problems, folks, you do not pay. Once again, that's getkimshelp.com. All right, every single day I visit at least 35, maybe even 40 different websites to make sure that I'm up to date on everything that's happening in the tech world. And this way I can make sure that you're up to date too. And here are 5 things that you need to know about tech that are happening right now. Now, imagine growing up in a small town like Fairfield, Connecticut. And that's where Daniel Kensberg's story begins. His mom and dad died, and then he inherited a beautiful plot of land there. So one day, imagine this happens to you. Dan gets a phone call from a friend in Fairfield and says, hey, wow, that's really great. I see that a new house is going up on your land. Does that mean you're moving back? Well, here's the deal. Some scam artist in South Africa had faked an ID passport with Daniel's name and picture with a bunch of wrong details. Then they tricked a legitimate real estate site into listing the property, and just like that, a building company paid $350,000 for Daniel's land, and they started just building on it. The price tag so far on the house, $1.5 million. Ooh, $1.5 million. Now, Daniel, of course, is saying, I don't want the house, and you shouldn't be building on it, and it's my land, so how do I get it back? And everybody's suing each other, and so it's just big mucky muck that's going on there. So here's what you need to do. On the real estate websites, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor, make sure that you claim your piece of land. I want you to claim it. And also your house. Might as well do that while you're there, because this way, if anybody changes the status of that, say that it goes for sale, or it's sold, or it's pending, or contingent, that you're going to get an automatic notification. Now, you can also place a property fraud alert in some jurisdictions. So this way you'll be notified if someone tries to file documents regarding the property. And you always want to make sure that you use title insurance if you buy anything. And you also want to maintain relationships with your local neighbors and contacts, because that was really how Daniel found out. He probably would have known otherwise for years. Crazy. Number 2 on our list, Juul has a way, they say, to stop underage vaping. Thank you for that. They got slapped with a huge $462 million settlement in April. They had to pay up to 6 states and Washington, D.C., that all these fruity flavors were just creating this generation of nicotine-hooked kids, and that was really what was happening. So now they have a brand new plan, an e-cigarette that can tell if you're underage. Here's how it's going to work. The vape's going to pair up with an app on your smartphone. Then you got to prove that you're old enough. You have to upload your government IT and a real-time selfie. They're going to check it. And they also say that the new e-cig is going to sniff out counterfeit cartridges. Is it going to work? You know what? Kids can always find a way around anything if they want. I mean, think about when you were a teenager and you figure out how to buy booze, right? We all did that. Yes, Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill. That was mine. Yeah, back in Jersey. That's what we drank in Jersey. The Boone's Farm. Yeah, it was pretty bad. All right, moving on to number 3. Hello, mother. Hello, father. Yes, I'm talking about summer camp. Well, the Wall Street Journal is talking about a brand new trend among parents with kids at these summer sleepover camps. They're calling them photocopters. Not like helicopter parents. No, now they're called photocopters. This is the name for parents who are obsessing over photos with their kids at summer camp. So they start examining every tiny detail in the pictures of their kids, and then they're reaching out to the camp counselors. Like, for example, if the child has a neutral expression, the parents will automatically assume that the kid is stressed and they're not happy. Maybe they just didn't want to smile at that particular moment. If they're standing alone in a picture, oh, poor Johnny and Janie, they have no friends. Come on, counselor, you need to make sure that they're making friends. This was actually one that a mother called the counselor about. Could you imagine? She wanted to tell the camp counselor that she saw a picture of her daughter, and she needed the counselor to tell her daughter that wearing the blue tank top with the striped pants is evening wear. That's not to wear during the daytime, sweetie. Gosh. Oh, man. Hey, listen, what kind of summer camp, listen to this, what kind of summer camp would a toilet, a mountain lion, and a cantaloupe all go to? Let me give this to you again. You're going to want to tell the kids this one. What kind of summer camp would a toilet, a mountain lion, and a cantaloupe all go to? You ready for it? A John Cougar melon camp? Oh, that was bad. All right, number 4. Google Street View car leads police on a 100-mile-per-hour chase and crashes into a creek. What's going on that? It happened in Middletown, Indiana, and the cops caught the guy. Turned out to be Coleman Ferguson. He was from Florida. He told the cops that he worked for Google, and he was too freaked out to stop, and cops weren't having anything of that. They arrested him for resisting law enforcement with a vehicle, and now he's waiting on formal charges. But here's a hope. We might be able to see all the photos this car took during the chase on Street View. Wouldn't that be fun? And finally, this coming in number 5 is your kid suddenly wanting to wear a polo shirt. Here's the reason why, is that golf is having a moment everywhere online. A TikTok account from St. Andres built a following over about 250,000 fans by posting comedy sketches centered all around golf. And they say as COVID-19 swept the globe, people turned to outdoor socially distanced activities, and that's where golf fit the bill. And this is interesting. It's an end to 21 years of declining golf rounds played. After 21 years, suddenly golf is out there.
This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row, all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
All right, imagine this. You step outside and wow, you just see a mountain of Amazon packages. And then you start looking like, what happened? I mean, but they're not for me. I didn't order all this stuff. Well, that's exactly what happened to Dr. Cindy Smith from Virginia. And let me tell you, it wasn't just like one or two surprise packages. We're talking about over 100 different Amazon boxes. And they just kept coming and they kept coming. They kept coming. And inside these boxes were just like a whole bunch of random stuff. Headlamps, glue guns, kids' binoculars. And every single one of these boxes is addressed to someone by the name of Li Jiao Zhang. Cindy, it's so great to have you with us. So let's just dive in. So when did you first find yourself in this whole Amazon avalanche of packages? And how many boxes came to your doorstep in total?
Geez, probably maybe up to 150. But they were all sizes. Sometimes one headlamp, sometimes one glue gun, sometimes 20 headlamps with 6 glue guns. It was always a mix of all different sizes.
And so did you start like wondering like, oh, well, somebody's sending this stuff to the wrong address? Did you reach out to Amazon? Did you open a few boxes wondering what the heck's going on?
Well, we did. Like initially, I thought it was coming, we have a family lawn and landscape business. So I thought maybe my husband accidentally, there was an error and he ordered something weird. But once we ordered them and they kept being headlamps and mostly glue guns, and they were all addressed to the same man, we called Amazon and they are like, oh, it's probably some scam. Give it away, throw it away, or donate it. But they were not interested in having it back.
Okay. So then you're just sitting there with all these headlamps and kids' binoculars wondering like what the heck to do with it all?
Yeah, like the boxes were all the way out, onto our walkway, to the point the post office said, hey, your house is unsafe for packages. We're not delivering anymore. You have way too many. And so then I had to move them inside and it took up like my whole garage bay. But I was just like, I can't throw these away because that's not right. And I just started thinking, how can I do good with all the stuff?
And so what did you end up doing with it?
Oh, loads of things. I sort of made up these rules in my head that whatever I did with it, it had to go to somebody that was passionate about connecting people to the environment, because that's what I do, or very much into sustainability. So initially I gave them to groups of master gardeners, master naturalists, and those are environmentally oriented people that teach groups of youth or the public, in gardening or anything nature related. I gave them to a friend of mine who has an outdoor group for men of color. I gave them to every Amazon driver that started coming to our house and would drop them off. And they came from Amazon, from FedEx, from post office. I said, hey, it's pretty dark here. We don't have street lights. Would you like headlamps? And they'd be like, oh, man, we can't take any of that product. And I would show them my stash. And they'd be like, okay, maybe I can't. And they would, yeah. And I'd say, well, how many people in your family? Like one of them, he's like, my dad's a plumber. He works underneath cabinets. This will be great. So I did that. I gave them to all my family, all my friends. Family members took boxes. They gave them out in different cities. I gave quite a few to emergency management people as well, because we had just, seen this really bad storm where tree cutters were working through the night, up where I am right now in Maine. So we gave a bunch to them for their night rescues. We've given them dog walkers, animal shelters, veterinary clinics who have to walk dogs at night.
Wow.
Somebody who's doing nighttime stuff. Oh, and then I went to a convention where, huge Virginia convention for homeschool families. And anybody who came to our booth, where I sell these educational products to get parents and teachers interested in getting kids out into nature. I'd say, how many people in your family? And they'd say, well, I have 7 kids. I'm like, here's 7. You can have 7 headlamps. Or would you like glue guns? And I gave away about 600 events.
That is so innovative, really. I mean, so it actually became a way for you to give back to multiple communities and really just be like the best lady in the entire neighborhood for this to happen. Do you have any idea what the total value, dollar amount value is of all the boxes?
Well, We looked them up online. They've gone up in price since, but we thought it was about $17,000 that was sent to us. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. And I know one thing that was weird is when I went to that, it was a 3-day convention. I gave away about 600 of them. And then I still had 2 boxes full. And so I gave them to every custodian, every maintenance worker in the Richmond, Virginia Convention Center, every security person. I went and gave them to every valet parking person. There was pizza delivery people on bikes. They got some, and I just handed them out and I felt so kind of like unburdened. And I drove home and the package did again. I was like, what?
Oh, no. You're like, okay, I'm finally free from all this stuff. And then it's like, oh my gosh, it's starting again. And did Amazon explain to you why some merchants do this?
No, absolutely they did not. They just kept saying, throw it away, give it away, donate it. There was no explanation given at all. I looked online. I assumed it was a brushing scam. Somebody wanted to get 5-star reviews for these products because supposedly every product that showed up was a verified purchase.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until
that normally happens on onesie or twosie products. I mean, not when we're talking about hundreds of boxes. And this was probably what I have heard is it's probably an instance where a third-party merchant is getting out of the business, and it's going to cost them more to have Amazon destroy the merchandise than if they just ship it to some random person. Well, apparently they picked the right person, Doctor, and congratulations on all the good that you've done with all of the headlamps and kids' binoculars and glue guns. I mean, who knew that you could pass them out to so many different people and impact so many lives? Thanks for telling us your story today. Yeah, these are called brushing scams. So if you ever get an Amazon box with an order that you did not make, and you're like, why the heck did I get this? What they want you to do is to hop online and to leave them a positive review. But you don't have to do that. And by the way, is it legal for you to keep all this stuff? 100%.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
All right, let's talk about Google. Okay, Google runs around 99,000 search queries every single second. Now, if you do the math, that's 8.5 billion searches every single day on Google. Wow, isn't that amazing? 8.5 billion searches every single day. Now, the average person searches Google 3 or 4 times a day. So let's just say that's why Google is now a verb. I mean, it's not just like a noun, like it's Google, like we Google things. And joining us here on the Big Kim Komando Show is Ali Seligman. She's our amazing content queen over at Komando.com and also in charge of the content with our newsletters. Ali, thanks for being here.
Of course. Hi, Kim.
So how many times a day do you think that you use Google?
Oh, man. Too many. A lot.
A lot.
Dozens.
A lot.
Seriously. Yeah, it's just built-in behavior now, right? You just open up a new tab and start typing, and that's how I use the internet.
So have you noticed that you have been using Google less since ChatGPT?
I don't really go to chat to do things that I go to Google for. To me, really? I use them differently. Yeah, I think that you are more on the side of, I think you do a good job at this, of using chat to, do things that I just go to Google for. So maybe I should learn a thing or two from you.
Oh, see, every once in a while, something good comes across. All right. So Google, they made some big announcements, some privacy changes. Tell us about it.
They did. And the first place I started to get us into this is I Googled myself. I also Googled you because... Oh, did you? Yeah. When's the last time we did that? I used incognito mode just so it wouldn't be, I go to all of our websites and, our stuff. So trying to make it a little more fair, someone without my search history. Okay. Some interesting finds. We'll start with the numbers. A Google search for Ali Seligman, 249,000 results. Now, very few of these are actually having anything to do with me, but that's all right. 249.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Kim Commando, 3.1 million, which makes sense, right? Yes.
And there's only one Kim Commando.
I know.
Okay. I wonder how many different Ali Seligmans
there are. Many. There are several. There's one that spells her name Ali. There are a few. I don't think a ton. But yeah, there are some out there. So for me, it's things like my LinkedIn, social media profiles, old blog posts and articles from other lives when I was a newspaper reporter, when I worked in fitness, whatever. There's an ebook that I forgot I wrote about cleaning products once, or not cleaning products, about cleaning. Yeah. It's like,
did you really? When did you do that?
Oh man, it was probably 8 years ago or something. It's like a lazy person's guide to cleaning their house.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There was one site that said they had my cell phone number, but get this, the first 3 digits were actually my parents' phone number. So they didn't get that. And my wedding pictures from 14 years ago, you can find those online.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they like in a registry or?
No, they were hosted. The photographer who took them had them hosted on a site. And so you can just get to them if you search my name. Yeah. For Kim, it's what we'd expect, right? There's, yes, of course, your Wikipedia, YouTube, LinkedIn, a ton of radio sites, all the content you've written over the years, lots of books, lots of news articles, the Radio Hall of Fame, the Etsy shop that you made. There's even an IMDb page. There's not a lot there, but it exists. Yeah.
You know what? I wanted to add stuff to that. I got into this whole circle of like, they wanted to like verify this and verify, and I'm like, I just don't have time.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out someday. We'll put it on the list. Luckily, I could not find your cell number, and I'm a pretty good Googler, so that is not there. Probably I could pay somebody to find it on the internet, but that's a good sign. But some people Google themselves, look themselves up on Google, and find things that they really don't want anyone else to see, right? And it could be for a million reasons. Maybe somebody that really wanted to get back to you decided to dox you, and so they put pictures of you online that you don't want up, or your contact information, whatever it might be. So Google is finally saying, hey, we're going to make it easier to take this stuff off. My 2 immediate reactions are great and about time. Because finally, right now you can ask for things to be taken down. You have to fill out a big form. It may or may not work, whatever. But now they're actually making it easy. So there is going to be a page where you can go, and essentially every Google result that populates about you, and if it has any personal info, will pop up on one dashboard. So you can review everything there as it pops up, which is so much easier than expecting people to go find this stuff. And often you're not going to find it until it's too late. A ton of people have seen it. Maybe you're very embarrassed, whatever it is. So on the site, you can check exactly what's being said about you, which is great. And then there's a handy little button next to each one that says remove result. Now, of course, this is not immediate removal. You don't click it and it's gone. But it's an easier way. You don't have to fill out a big form. There will be places where Google, if it's on a government site, if it's on a news site, something like that, where they deem, okay, this is up for a reason. Yeah, those are harder to get removed. But for the most part, things are going to be a lot easier to get taken down. One thing that's great too, explicit pictures. Yes, you can say somebody posts pictures of you online that you really wish they didn't. You can get those removed, although it is, again, fill out this really long form, wait, who knows how long for that to happen. They're making it easier to take those down and to take down pictures, even if you posted them yourself. Say you put something on a website years ago and you don't have a login anymore, or the website, it's there, but you can't get into it and change it. You can get that stuff removed too. So if you've got something you did in the past that you really regret, there's now a way to get that stuff off the internet too. So, I mean,
Allie, I want to interrupt you for just a
please.
second. You're talking about all this great stuff that Google's doing. Okay. Why? Okay. Okay. I think I know why, but I'm going to ask you why. Why do you think they're doing this?
Well, I think they're trying to get ahead of people saying, oh my gosh, my whole life is on Google. The better they can look to us and say, look at all we're doing for you. That gets ahead of things like antitrust. It gets ahead of things like privacy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they're just trying to build up the cred.
But I think that there's also a side of it that Google Bard is using everything on the internet in order to create
Great point.
its own AI brain.
Yep.
And so let's say that it has disparaging remarks about Ali Seligman and in her cookbook and pictures of Ali naked cleaning her house or whatever it may be. Again, I'm not saying that's the type of book, but
yes.
But then somebody goes into Google Bard and types in your name and this pops up. Well, then guess what they have? Defamation.
There you go. Yeah. So that is so smart, Kim. You're right. This is very much like clean up what's out there about you on the internet before we feed everything into AI. Absolutely.
It is. It's kind of crazy stuff. So what do you think the most searched word is on Google?
Oh.
What do you think the most searched word is?
Weather?
This is it.
Weather?
Me? No. This was really surprising to me when I was looking up because I wanted to see how many just looking up those Google stats to kind of open up the segment. The most searched word on Google right now is Wordle.
Still?
WORDL. Yes, it still is. It still is. And, and of course, it's like everybody looking for answers, right? I mean, it's like, what is today's Wordle answer? Are you playing Wordle still?
No, I gave it up long ago. Do you still do it?
Yeah, I still do it. And there was one word the other day that I actually looked up the Wordle answer because I was getting so frustrated. It was like, you only get 6 tries. And I was down to 5. And I thought, I am not going to lose. So,
I'll cheat.
I'll cheat. So I went, today's Wordle answer, which I'm sure that's what everybody's doing. And all these sites, they must be making some money at this.
Yeah. I'm sure they have, a gajillion ads. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And what they do is just like with the recipe sites, they make you scroll all the way down to get to the
etymology
answer,
of the word. Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, is Wordle getting more difficult? I'm like, no, it's not. I just want to see the answer, okay? I just want to see the word. And the word was, and I want to know if you've ever, I don't want you to use this in a sentence, sorry. The word was BEGET. BEGET. Okay. I couldn't think of a time that I've actually ever said that word out loud.
It feels like a very Bible-y word, like Kim beget Ian.
It does, doesn't it?
That's the only usage I can think of. Yeah, that's all I got.
That was great, Al.
Thank you.
Thank you. It. Yes.
By the way, if you want to sign up for the alerts for this Google stuff, if you're thinking like, oh yeah, I want this dashboard, we are sending out the links in our current tech newsletter. So make sure you get it. I'll put it in. It's going to be this weekend, and we'll also put it in next week for you. So if you want to sign up and make sure you get those, subscribe to the newsletters. We send out great stuff like this every single day.
Every single day. Over 500,000 people are getting Tech Smart less than 5 minutes a day. Once again, you sign up over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. Allie, great job as always. Thanks for being here. All right, if you're buying stuff on Amazon, your electronics, I want to make sure, number one, don't pay for the extended warranty. Odds are you're probably not going to ever use it. Number two, don't pay full price. You want to look for deals and discounts. And if you're not trading in your old stuff, be sure that you do that too, because you can get some Amazon cash for that. And then also, stop buying these no-name electronics from third-party sellers. You're just asking for trouble.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Marvin in Carmel, Indiana. Hi there.
Hi, it's great to be on the show. Recently, my sons and I put together a video for a new version of America the Beautiful that we put on YouTube. And my question is, how do we increase public awareness of the video? I'm not interested in making any money off the video, just in raising awareness in a low-cost method.
So you sent me a link, and I actually watched the video. Who's singing?
Well, the first 3 verses, each of my 3 sons sings 1 verse apiece. And then my daughter-in-law, Mila, joins them at appropriate times. And then in the last verse, a new verse that I wrote for the song, they all sing together.
I'll tell you, it's beautiful. Here, we're going to play a little bit of it right now because I think it's amazing.
Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved and gave to us.
Marvin, you did a great job.
Yes, thanks.
I mean, it really is amazing. All right, so you just want to spread the word about this song. Now, first of all, on YouTube, what I did notice is that you don't have a description of the video. And so your first step is to put a description of that video and then use the appropriate hashtags. America the Beautiful hashtag, hashtag 4th of July, so think of some hashtags. And so this way, when people are searching for videos, that yours will pop up because you only had, I don't know, you didn't have very many views when I saw, but I think, so that's just the first thing. Okay. And you know where to do that, right?
I will figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So when you posted the video to YouTube, that gave you the opportunity to write a description of the video. And so you need to write a description of the video so that when people are searching for your video, that it will pop up on using certain keywords. And so you might want to look at other videos that are also America the Beautiful. So you can look at their description, also look at the hashtags and the keywords that they're using in that description. So some free ways to promote it is that, of course, you're going to share the video on any social media channels that you have, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and, ask the kids to do that as well. And anybody else, their family members and friends. If you can, give it to a local venue, and then you can tell them that they can play it for free. I'm talking about, baseball games, football games, the Elks Club, whatever it may be, whatever venue that you think would be appropriate for them to play it. At the end, they can always say, if you want to hear it again, go to this YouTube channel. You also want to find some online forums. Again, these are free ways to promote videos, Facebook groups, Reddit communities. And in addition to that, you might want to collaborate with some influencers. So if you know that, for example, there are some top conservative talk radio hosts that are very pro-America, offer to collaborate them or ask them if they'd be willing to play your video on their video podcast, or maybe they'll even play the song on one of their podcasts or even on their radio show. And then again, I think the local community engagement is really super important. Now, if you want to start paying for ways, well, you can always buy ads on Facebook and on YouTube and on Google. You can pay for influencers to actually promote it. You should always collaborate with any charities and organizations. But the whole thing is that we're going to approach this from the bottom line, and you're at the grassroots level right now. And that's beginning with the basic of getting the description, getting it searchable on YouTube, defining who this target audience is. You might want to sit down with all the kids and say, okay, who is really the right person to help us promote it, and put names by that, and don't forget to, don't feel shy to not reach out to somebody. You're like, oh, they'll never answer me. You never know. Okay. You just need one big person to play the whole thing on a podcast and a radio show, and you may find that all of a sudden you have all this engagement, and then you have all these views, and then that's when you can start measuring success. So, Marvin, start down that path, and then if you need any help afterwards, just give me a call, and I'm always here and happy to help. And congratulations. It really is a beautiful video, and the rendition is amazing. And folks, we'll go ahead and link to Marvin's video in one of our free newsletters. So if you're not already getting our newsletters, just to make sure that you sign up right now over at getkim.com. All right, still to come, the answer to the question, should I let my phone die every day? The answer is no. Modern batteries actually degrade faster if you zero them out. So here's the bottom line. Keep your phone's battery level between 20 and 80% all the time. All right, if you laughed, if you learned just one thing here on The Kim Komando Show, do me a solid and tell at least 3 family members and friends about The Kim Komando Show and podcast, because as I like to say, knowledge is power. You can find me always at komando.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.